Yes, guys, welcome everyone. Welcome to an afternoon show that I don't really do much of, but I might start getting to do more afternoon shows as the season goes on when we start. But guys, we're going to Liverpool chit chat. We're going to talk all Liverpool stuff. We're going to talk about Thiago, and all people are coming at me already with the title.
I saw.
People need to chill. There's a question mark for a reason, guys. You know. I didn't state it as a fact, it's a question. Yeah, we're going to talk about transfers, Arne Slot, all the good Liverpool stuff. And I've got Ends with me today. Ends, how you doing, man?
Good, man. Appreciate it, man. Said, man, I asked, you delivered. It's good, man. It's good to chop it up still. Big up to everyone inside as well. Should be an interesting conversation.
Yes, it should. It should. It should. If you've not done also, guys, make sure you hit that like button and subscribing to Ends' channel as well if you've not done so already. Oh, I am shattered. Ends is shattered. We're both tired, so chat, you're going to need to pick us up. That's all I'm going to say. As you can see, Ends is wearing full merch.
Have to, man.
Make sure you go to the shop and support Ends. You know what it's like, guys.
I've decided just to wear my own stuff now, Jamie.
That's the way I do it, man. That's the way I do it. That's the way I do it. So, guys, before we do anything, I'm going to play you a little video. And then we're going to talk about the video after. Let's see if I've got the right video. Is that the right video?
Dear Reds, I'm making this video to thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything you have given me during this beautiful and successful journey together. In 5 years, you have shown me so many things. Like wearing Liverpool shirt and defending Liverpool badge at Anfield should be added to the 7 wonders of the world. That 11 yard is nothing when it's come to winning a title.
Adrian! Like Rocky!
That London is really Anfield South. The Scouse accent is not difficult. It is for chosen and special people. That tradition must be protected. That you will never walk alone is not just an anthem, it is a philosophy of life. Even that only 3 letters, K-O-P, can lift you up in your hardest moment. Now, it is time for me to share all this experience I have learned. I will be grateful to you for life. You have been and always will be very special to me and to my family. As Bill Shankly said, Liverpool Football Club exists to win trophies. I wish you all the best. Once red, always red.
Yeah, my keeper. I love that video. I ain't gonna lie, and I reckon that's a beautiful video Adrian put together there. No matter what people think of Adrian, he obviously felt a lot for Liverpool Football Club. Obviously, he says it there. He loves the club now. He's always going to be part of it. I thought it was a beautiful put together video and expressed his love for the football club. And so I don't know about you, but you know, choked me up a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. I love the guy. Love the guy.
Do you know, I might be sitting on the opposite side of this fence, Jamie, with this one.
Yeah.
I've just found it mad cringy, bro. I remember. You remember when he made that video? What was the video when he won them trophies? When we won the trophy, he made his own video for it.
He hired out a football stadium.
Yeah, I'm just like,
no, I would do exactly the same thing. I ain't lying.
No, I don't know, man. I don't know. If you were staying, all right, cool, but I'm happy. I'm happy that he's got. He just gives room for someone else now.
Oh yeah,
He gives an opportunity for someone else. Look, thanks for what you done for the club. I guess I don't know, because I don't know the behind the scenes stuff that he did. That everyone says he does. He's the one that kind of glues everything together. But when he stepped in the Super Cup, memorable moment, you know, in that first period of the season, the first 10 games, Alisson was injured, so he had to step in, and I think he done really well. Yeah, he was really, really, really good. But apart from that, he's just been the guy that I see in training sometimes. That was it. And then I can remember the Aston Villa. Like, I can choose both sides how I want to remember him. Super Cup or the Aston Villa 7-2 when he's diving out the way for shots.
Yeah,
diving in the wrong direction. Do you know what I mean? I can choose what side I want to remember him for. But look, do I want to say he's been a good servant? I don't know. Like, he was just there. He was just one of the guys, isn't it? But I don't know. I find it a bit cringy, man, the goodbye message. But listen, some people are going to love it. Some people are going to hate it. Some people are going to be in between. I'm just like, I don't really care. And I scrolled past it when I saw it online as well. I was talking to Calvin Savage about it, and it was like, Sam said, yeah, no, I watched it. And me and Calvin was like, no, we'll just scroll past it. Like, yeah, it was there. Sorry, man. Sorry, guys in the chat as well. My bad.
No. You're entitled to do whatever you like. I mean, you are right. I mean, everything you said is correct. There's no lies what you said there. Look, apparently you talked to people at Liverpool, and Adrian was good behind the scenes. Apparently he was a good influence on players and kept morale up and stuff like that. And I think what it is a player that knew his place. And you don't get many of them in today's football, to be fair. So didn't kick up a fuss, didn't, kept morale high, kept the players, obviously good in the changing room and behind the scenes for the players. Sometimes you need them people in your football club. I don't see nothing wrong with that at times. I think we get a bit too bogged down sometimes in football, and I think it's good to have these guys around at times, I remember Ronnie Moran, he stayed at Liverpool. He retired, was let go, came to the training ground every day till he passed away. Just to be part of it, to talk to the people and stuff like that. I just feel like there's something about Liverpool where players sort of seem to be a special place to be. A special
100%.
And
100%. No, I agree. Listen, I agree that it's a special place to be for a football player and whoever gets the opportunity to go and work there and just be around that environment. But yeah, it was just like, and as I said, I obviously I'm not behind the scenes, so I don't know what kind of morale booster stuff he was doing, but it just felt like he was there getting paid just to be there. Yeah,
I'll get that. Yeah,
it was just like one of the best jobs, and that's why you're like, why was he always happy? Well, he could turn up to training and be with the lads and stuff like that, and then at the same time he walks away at the end of the week with money in his pocket, and he didn't have to get himself dirty too much during the week. Didn't have to worry about getting ready for preparation for games because he was hardly in the squad. Hey, listen, great job, man, great job. I wouldn't mind that as well. 50 odd grand a week, 60 odd grand a week,
60 odd grand, I think. It like you say, it's weird because he made a video saying his goodbyes where a lot of people might have not realised he left. Yeah, I get it. I just sort of like it. I'm sort of like easy like that. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. I'm quite an emotional fella, so it gets to me. I ain't gonna lie. I preferred the video to Jordan Henderson's video, and he was our captain. So I'm just gonna leave it as that.
I still haven't watched Jordan Henderson.
Jordan Henderson looks like he's reading from a script. It's like,
no, I scrolled past it as well. Once the players start leaving, I detach from them. Once they say I'm leaving, I just start detaching. I'm like, all right, cool, you're gone. All right, let's detach. And next day you think I hated a player, but I just detach myself from them once they go.
I hear that. But I like big up to Adrian. He knew his place. He knew what he was worth. He took advantage of a situation. He's never won trophies and medals in his life. Come to Liverpool, wins trophies and medals. Hide out a whole football stadium in Spain to do a video shot of his medals. Big up to the man. Let him enjoy life. That's what I'm saying. Let that man enjoy life. And now he's going back to his club, Real Betis, and finishing off his career. Good luck to him, man. Good luck. But look, did he have? I think everyone forgets when we first bought him.
What do you mean?
We weren't meant to buy him because I believe when I watched the documentary, Mignolet came up to Klopp just before the season started and said he wanted to leave to go to Club Brugge. So Liverpool obviously wouldn't step aside, like didn't stand in his way, but needed a goalkeeper as an emergency, like quick. Adrian was there for nothing. They got him in. They thought he had Premier League experience, so bring him in as a number 2. Ain't the worst signing in the world at the time. And then what is it? The first game of the season against Norwich, Alisson rips his Achilles. Is it
Something like, or the hamstring. It was always Achilles, hamstring, quad. Those are the 3 he kept getting.
Yeah, and then I believe Alisson played. Didn't Adrian play the first 10 games of the season? And we and we won every game.
And we won pretty much all. Yeah. And Adrian was playing. He played really well in those games. And
then he won the Super League with the penalty shootout. No, not the Super League, the Super Cup.
Super Cup.
Yeah, so the man got Premier. He got and then we know what happened after that. We'll forget that. But we'll put the Villa game out of it. That never happened. The game against Atletico Madrid never happened. We'll forget about all that. Yeah,
I don't even remember the scorers in those games. That's how bad I've tried to block it out. I just remember the result. I just don't remember who scored.
All I remember is every Villa goal was a deflection.
There was a couple when he dived out of the way, though.
Yeah, but every single one was a deflection, and he did dive out of the way. As you said, there was not one clean strike. Well, that game 2-2 for a little bit as well.
Do you know how crazy it is? We created a hell of a lot of chances in the game and didn't score. Like, we scored 2. We could have scored 5 or 6 ourselves, but every time they attacked, the ball just ended up in the back of the net.
That just sounds like a Jurgen Klopp Liverpool to me. It don't sound any different.
End-to-end stuff.
End-to-end football. But yeah, goodbye, Adrian. And Jaros looks like he's going to come in and be the number 3 goalkeeper for this moment in time because Kelleher's still at the football club. What do you think about that end? I'm pretty high on Jaros. I think what I have seen of him, I think he was a Czech number 2 goalkeeper for Euros as well. Right, cool. Number 3 goalkeeper.
To be fair, Kelleher is the main one for me. I needed to make sure stayed. Jaros, I think I haven't watched a lot of him, so for me to say, is he good? Is he bad? Is he average? I have to kind of wait and see when given the opportunity. Let's see what he does.
Yeah.
But Kelleher was the main one for me. I think keeping Kelleher, or hopefully keeping Kelleher, and then obviously Alisson and then having Jaros behind them, I think that's perfect. I think that's fine because Kelleher comes in, we're all kind of gone. There's no problems there. We're not going to cuss. We're not going to complain. We're all going to be happy. But yeah, in terms of Jaros, I'll just have to wait and see what type of goalkeeper he is before I can make my assessment or judgment on him.
Yeah, I've only seen a few games of it. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know too much about him. I've only seen him play a few games. He looks decent. Liverpool, the thing for me is that the football club look like they have higher expectations of him.
Yeah.
So, and I believe he counts as homegrown as well.
Okay.
In fact, look, if that's the case, if Kelleher don't go, because we know, I think with Queen Kelleher, if he doesn't leave, he's not going to kick up a fuss.
Right.
And he'll stay, in my opinion. By what I gather from the man himself, he doesn't seem that type of guy that's going to kick up a fuss if fees are not met for him. If a fee's met for him, he'll leave. I just don't know if a club's going to come in this window and spend the money that Liverpool want on him. And Liverpool want that 30 to 35 million for him. And I think it's right.
Yeah.
You look at someone like James Trafford, people, Burnley are asking 30 million for him. Kelleher's better than him. So I think Liverpool are in the right areas. I don't know about you. People might moan that we're overpricing him, but I think he's a top goalkeeper.
No, I think sometimes you can undervalue yourself or undervalue your players just because you want to get them through the door, get them out the door, or whatever it may be. If you don't like the player, you like the player. And I'd never want to see our club because I'm watching all these other clubs, right, stranglehold us at times and go, nah, he's going to cost 40 million. No, he's going to cost 50. No, he's going to. So if you want one of the best goalkeepers, in my opinion, around at the moment, then you're going to have to cough up the big money. If you rate him and you think he can, make a massive change to your club, then you should be happy to spend that kind of money if he's that needle mover for you. I don't want to lose him though, honestly, bro. And it's no shade because I'm just looking. I don't know if Yaros is ready yet, and I can't think of a number 2 out there that I'm comfortable with that I've seen play with these players that's been around the club. And goalkeeping positions are like an anomaly. Something find a really good one that you're really like confident in. Like how many bad goalkeepers have we had, and then we've got Alisson in, and then for some reason all the pressure is gone. We know 1v1s is amazing, shot stopping. He commands his box well. Then we saw Kelleher come in, and there was a few shaky moments, but then you realize, he's actually really good as well. Very calm on the ball, very good passer, good shot stopper as well. And he looks like very commanding now as well. So I'm happy in the position we're in, and I don't want to make us weaker by just selling him just because we want to get some money. I just look at the long term, and I always think Alisson's always got one of those outside of the foot pass away from tweaking a hamstring or tweaking a calf or a quad. And then you're like, okay, so now we've got the youngster in goal in a big part of the season where we've got Kelleher in goal. You're like, okay, things are calm.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'd prefer that. That's what I'd prefer, if I'm being honest.
I'm with you, man. I don't want Kelleher to go anywhere. I think he's the best number 2 goalkeeper in the league. When he came in this last season, he was rusty as hell and he looked terrible. But he barely plays football.
Yeah.
So, but then as the season went on and in more games he played, you realise, damn, he is a good goalkeeper. There is no doubt. Yeah, he makes mistakes. Every goalkeeper makes mistakes. Even Alisson, who's the best in the world, makes mistakes. It happens. But yeah, I think he's a very good goalkeeper. Again, like you say, we can't, as good as Alisson is, and as the best around, I can't trust that he's not going to pick up an injury where he's out for about 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah,
that's the fact that it happens, don't it?
Yeah.
And if Kelleher comes in for 3 or 4 weeks, I'm like, okay, I'm cool with that. It's fine. But going to find a goalkeeper to play a number 2, to be the number 2 role, it's going to be difficult for Liverpool to go to around Europe, around the world, go look for a goalkeeper that's going to be good enough. But you got to go, Alisson's my number 1. You're sitting on bench. It's a very difficult, no matter how good the goalkeeper is, to try and get Alisson out of that team is nigh on impossible. So it's a tough task to go to someone, right, you're my number 2. Kelleher's my number 1. And that's what you're telling them. Unless it's an older goalkeeper, maybe, who's got a lot of experience. I know a lot of people were talking about in the summer, we're talking about McGregor and players like this that are maybe like, he's an experienced goalkeeper. He'd probably expect to come in as a number 2 and call on him if needed and stuff like that. I think that's the only way we could do it, because getting a young goalkeeper, we've got a young goalkeeper now, and how many young goalkeepers are probably better than Kelleher?
I don't think there's much in the league that's better than him, to be fair. And I know that's high praises, but we got to see it for a long period of time over the season, last season as well. We got to see how crucial he was, how calming he was in terms of his distribution and passing, and even his shot stopping in certain games as well. There was a few odd goals where you're like, should have done better there, but that we do that with most goalkeepers. And I look around the league and go, is there anyone else on his kind of, you might say David Raya now, he's kind of, put a stamp in terms of the Arsenal team. Obviously Ederson, we already know. In terms of like the top level ones, but other than that, you look across the rest of the teams in the league, and that's not to knock their goalkeepers. Obviously, they play in the Premier League, so they have to be a bit decent. But yeah, I don't want to lose Kelleher. And obviously, listening to what Arnie Slot said about him being a part of the plan, whether that's a conversation they've already had in terms of maybe what does that look like, minutes-wise, game time, do I get the Cups? Do I get Premier League? And I always said, like, Kelleher can play against the lower teams in the Premier League, but we've also now seen him play against the better teams in the Premier League as well. So there should be no reason why you can't, for some games, like Ali, we know you're cold, but we've got, I don't know, Forest this weekend. Kelleher can play in that, and that's no disrespect to them. But we should have most of the ball in that game, and it's not like we haven't seen Kelleher playing those type of games already. And then Ali, that's your break there, you know what I mean? That's your couple of games off that we can use him. That's Kelleher getting the experience in the Premier League, keep him happy as well, and then so forth, so on, bro. But I would hate it if we lose. That's one player I can't detach from because I know how good he is, and if he goes somewhere else, I know he's gonna go and make them a better team. And I don't want to just have some random second goalkeeper when Alisson gets injured, and then we're like, "Oh my days, we should have kept Kelleher." So prevention is better than the cure in it, and I don't want to put ourselves in a position where, because look at last season, bro. Let's be honest. Kelleher would have been sold in the summer, right? That means Adrian would have been our number 2. Alisson missed a large portion of the. Alisson missed a large portion of the season, right? So imagine that was just Adrian in goal. We don't rate him as a goalkeeper. Yes, he's here for vibes and whatever, but as a goalkeeper, he's not as good as Kelleher or Alisson. We can all agree to that. So imagine all them games that we were playing, what that would have been like. And I don't want to put ourselves in that position. And I'm not trying to knock Yaros because I think obviously the club looks at him as a good player. So fingers crossed he become one of the best goalkeepers around. But at the moment, is he ready? I don't know. So but I don't want to be found. I don't want to be finding that out if we got games. You got Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, all these teams in there, and the problem is the goalkeeper. I just don't. Sorry.
No, I'm with you. I think Kelleher's just one squad player that we can't let go, in my opinion. I understand why Kelleher would want to leave. I get it, because he probably sees himself as the number 1 goalkeeper. So it's very understandable on Kelleher's point of view, where he sees his future. I think the football club are very, appreciated and aware of that as well. They don't want to hold him back at the same time. But at the same time, he's a player that Liverpool value, and we can't just be giving people away for nothing. Someone's got to meet his market value, and Liverpool will let him leave. If no one meets his market value this summer, Liverpool will go keep him, and I don't think Kelleher will go mad about it. As you say, there's games in the season in the Premier League that he could come in like. When we have breaks, like international breaks, especially the South Americans, if Alisson's playing for Brazil out in South America for a couple of games in an international break, Alisson shouldn't have to play the Premier League game coming back. Let him rest. There's Kelleher in for that game.
Yeah.
Because especially for the South American guys, because that's a long way to travel to play a couple of games and then come back and then play intense Premier League games. So, if Kelleher gets called up for the Irish squad and he's only playing in Europe, it's less travel time, less wear on his body. He can come in for the game and then let Alisson just rest up, because we do know Alisson has muscle issues as well with injuries. So it would make sense to me. I hope Arne Slot's looking at things like that, and that's why he wants to keep him. So yeah, I'm with you. Kelleher definitely needs to stay. Talking about staying or leaving, Sepp van der Berg. Now, this is an interesting one. Now, Liverpool apparently are after a new centre-back, although we do have 4. I keep saying this, but Liverpool are after a new centre-back. They want a young centre-back who's quick, athletic, can command, he's tall, he's good in the air. If Liverpool never had Sepp van der Berg, but they bought him from Mainz, but they're in the market for him at Mainz this summer, and they brought him in, would people be that upset about it?
Possibly yes. It's because of the name, isn't it? Like I think at the moment we're in a situation where you want to sign players not only based on ability, but has that backing or the PR behind them. And I feel like if you sign a player that's underwhelming and you don't know much about them and you're going off of the one season, and that's why with the Calafiori one, I'm not saying the guy isn't a good defender, but we're basing it off of one season. Everyone's basing it off their opinions around him off of one season.
Ed, I don't know about you. We do this every day here. Has anyone came to you about Calafiori all last season?
No.
It's such a,
No, but that's what I'm saying. To say that you want him
PR,
now, I'm just
PR,
like,
ain't it? It's PR, ain't it?
Yeah, he's Italian. He's played, obviously, he was at Euros. Obviously, they got knocked out. So you know, and they said obviously at Bologna that the way the playing style Thiago Motta had was good. So that all of these wonderful and great things that was said. But at the same time, if you marry them up and said Seth or him, they're pretty much in the same boat. They both had decent seasons, and but one has a better PR team behind them. So you'd always choose the one with a better PR because you're going to see all these great videos about him and you're going to see these wonderful passes and him running with the ball. And I'm like, but I saw the same thing from Seth last season as well. So I honestly don't know, man. If your question is, would I sign him or how the fans would, I think it would be underwhelming. I think they would moan about it same way because it would just be like, who the hell is this done? Remember when we signed him as well and he was touted to be one of the best centre-backs in the world when we did sign him after winning. Was it the Champions League or the Premier League when we signed him?
Yeah.
Maybe someone in the chat can, remind me and correct me. But yeah, and everyone's like, what the hell are we doing here? Why are we just signing this random teenager after winning this major trophy? We should be signing better players.
We bought him with Harvey Elliott, didn't we?
Listen, the question is, Jamie, would I give him pre-season before I consider selling him? Yes. I would love to see what he can actually do. But when you don't sign our players, Jamie, that's the problem, innit? Because we're all fans, Liverpool fans, I'm sure most are in the chat. We want to see some signings. But if the manager goes, well, no, we've made a signing. Remember when Klopp used to say that? Oh, we've made a signing. And then he will just randomly give you one of the players that's been on loan. Like, well, we signed Sepp this season. Like, no, he's always been our player. What do you mean we signed him? We might have to look forward to a time like that. Maybe.
Yeah, with signings, though. Like, with transfers. I've always been like this. I think that the players, as you say today, players have got a lot of PR. A lot of average players have got good PR, which makes them look better than they actually are.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like, I think we will make signings. I just feel like we're going to make signings later in the window. And they're going to be signings that are right for the club. So sometimes people think they're underwhelming signings. Like, when we bought Mo Salah, people ain't going to admit it. But when we were in for Mo Salah, some people said, why are we in for a Chelsea reject? Why do we need Mo Salah when we got Mane at right wing? I remember these conversations. They did happen. People were asking why we buy Mane from Southampton.
Yeah.
These conversations did happen. And they said they're underwhelming signings. And then, Mo Salah's our fifth all-time goal scorer, like for 30-odd million. It's just, Bobby Firmino, no one knew Bobby Firmino. No one knew who this Bobby Firmino kid was, at Hoffenheim. And the people behind the scenes knew what his skill set is now, wonderful of a footballer he could be, and went and got him in. And the rest is history. I think social media has a big part to blame for all this because people say this player is good, that player is good, that player is good. We should be getting this player when they don't watch that player. Yeah, because he's got a good FIFA card, or he's good on Football Manager. Do you know what I mean? You could watch a player 4 times. Yeah, I've said this myself. I've said this myself about certain players like Liao and things like that. I don't watch them. What I've seen, I don't like, but I've only seen him a few times. But all the other times I haven't seen him, he could have been wonderful. And a lot of players that people talk about, they say, "Oh, this is great. I've seen him a few times." A few times you've seen them, it might be great, but the 30-odd times you didn't see them, they could have been dreadful. So for football transfers, I will trust the club to get players in they believe are right for the football club. And people might think they're underwhelming transfers on paper, but then it transfers into football's a systematic sport now, ain't it? No, it's a completely systematic sport now. So if Iron Slot's got a system and transfer staff are picking players to suit Iron Slot system and it works, does it matter if they've got a massive football PR behind them or they've got a big name? As long as it works in the system, it makes Liverpool better.
Yeah.
That's all I care about. That's all I care about, man.
While you were speaking, I was just looking at both players in terms of their seasons. Calafiori and Seth Vandenberg. It's not much difference between them. Seth played more games than him as well. Started more games. Obviously, Calafiori had 5 assists, 3. But in terms of tackles, interceptions, ball recoveries, dribbled pass, they're pretty much identical. So there's no real difference between them. I know one played in the Italian league, one played in the German league, but errors leading to goal. Calafiori had more penalties committed. He gave away 2 pens. So there's not much, if I'm going to be honest, from a defensive standpoint, that their difference between the both of them compared to in their leagues, competitive leagues. So,
and I would say the German league is as similar as the English league as you can get in Europe.
Yeah, it's better than the Italian league.
Yeah, so here's another one. This one I love, and I love this one. Yeah. So people have been talking about we shouldn't buy Dutch players anymore from the Eredivisie because it can't be a trusted league. Yeah, everyone says this. Yeah, don't buy players in the Dutch league anymore because the Eredivisie, there's no proof that players are actually that good from there. Did you see all the everyone going mad on Twitter last week when is it Max Weaver went to, and everyone's going, why weren't we in for him? These same people were the same people that kept saying, don't buy Dutch players from the Dutch league because it can't be trusted.
But we should sign Max Weaver.
Yeah. Are they just thirsty? Are they just wanting players now for the sake of it because they're going to other clubs?
Listen, as I said, we're fans of a football club, and of course we love a new signing. We get to find out a bit around them. We get to learn about the player as much as we possibly can, and we can then do the comparisons to other players, etc., etc. But when you don't sign no one, I understand why they would want the player, and I can understand where they come from in terms of why we shouldn't sign Dutch players from Eredivisie. But I don't know. I don't even think I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's all that either, bro. So I don't know. I don't know.
It's because he's going to Brighton. Everyone's like, why aren't we on top of that? Maybe. And he's 30 million at Brighton. If Liverpool wanted him, they would have got him.
Look, come on. Your ex-manager joins Liverpool. You're telling me that he didn't want you. He was just like, nah, maybe I don't want you, bro. But I've got better now.
and everyone talks about FSG and their price point. Well, everything about UEFA is FSG signing.
30 million young.
If they wanted him, they would have got him. I just don't think they were looking at that kind of footballer at the end of the day. Or maybe they actually don't think they're good enough. What everyone's got to remember as well, Arne Slot has gone from Feyenoord to Liverpool. The squad he has at Liverpool now is miles better than the squad he had at Feyenoord. Yeah. The players he used to be able to try and attract at Feyenoord, he would never go after being Liverpool manager. Because you've gone up a level. He can now go, I can get that sort of player now because I could never have bought that player at Feyenoord because of the level I was at. So your level changes, don't it, once you move? So he's probably looking at him and thinking, Weaver was good for my time at Feyenoord, but now I'm at Liverpool. He's not going to be good enough for me here.
Maybe he's identified someone as well, Jamie, in the squad that can do the role that he required Weaver to do.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a player with those skill sets that he can ask. I don't. The name
ends with friends.
Endo. Okay. Now, do you know what? No disrespect. He's done great in it, but you still want a bit more. Big up to AA in the building. Said, yeah, man. Bajcetic as well. Steph, he could be that guy. He might look at him and go, skill sets looks the same, similar. You can do this, you can do it might just be that way. And he says it doesn't matter about age. If you're good enough, you will play. So guys, might be
talking about Stefan as well. So I've spoken on this, and for me, he's played 21 games in 18 months. Which is a mad stat. I would be up for him going on loan this season to get game time, to get his fitness back, because I think it's going to take a while for him to get his match game back. And we have got a lot of midfielders. If Liverpool are in the market for a DM, then they're going to get that DM in. And you got Taro Endo, who's staying at Liverpool as well, as a perfect squad player to come into that position if needed as well.
Yeah,
he's got more experience and played more than Stefan. I just feel like Stefan he's a talent. I think we all think and can see that he is a talented player.
Of course.
I just feel like with the injuries, it's set him back 12 months in his young career. And I feel like a loan spell at a good club would give him that chance to just get him back. I think Stefan needs that as well. Mentally, physically, he needs to know he's back and sharp as well. And to get your fitness and sharpness back when you're a young guy trying to break into this Liverpool team. Look, he has broken in, but he's not taken a spot. Stefan ain't guaranteed a spot in this midfield. He broke in, but, with Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, McAllister, Szoboszlai around, Gravenberch, Endo, if we get a new midfielder in, that's very difficult for Stefan to go, you lot get out of my way, I'm taking that spot when he's only played 21 games in 18 months. So for me, I would loan him if we're getting a midfielder in ends. How do you feel?
Do you know what it is? I would have agreed if Klopp was still here. I would have agreed, and the reason why I'm gonna disagree is because it's a fresh start for everyone now. So you're right in terms of the amount of games he's played, but obviously not down to just solely him growing and becoming this tall ass guy that I see now. You know what I mean? It's different. It's different, isn't it? It's not his fault, that he was going through all these pains, back, knee, joint, everything just growing. But he's now back. He was working over the summer, or what of the summer, end of season. He was working because I kept seeing videos with him at different training camps. You can see that he's trying to put himself in a position so when he gets back into preseason, which you see him now, he's in a great position to not. I'm not saying he's going to come and take someone's spot, but if you're in a good space, good condition, body feels good, you're playing good football, you get picked for the first couple of friendlies. He could then he might fight a way into the manager's thought and go, do you know what? The Stefan kid, amazing. I don't need to necessarily loan him out this season because I think he can do something I need him to do. So it's honestly, it could just be he's got first dibs now because remember, Gravenberch is away. Sobbo is on holiday. Trent wants to play in there as well. He's away. Wataru ain't there. Curtis is there, so that's the only one. Harvey's there, so that's the only one. So technically, he's like, if I can nail down a position now, massive. Do you know what I mean? All the other guys coming back and they don't hit the ground running, but he's had the preseason before preseason, then a good preseason, then a couple of games under his belt to prove his fitness and prove his quality. The other guys might be playing catch up, man, and all the guys that we think could possibly go and play in there, i.e., maybe a new signing, i.e., maybe Wataru. Maybe, I don't know, who else you think, maybe a McAllister in a double pit, whatever it may be, the manager goes, actually, Stefan could be the breakthrough this season. Like what we've had with the Kwanzas, like what we've had with the Bradleys. Stefan could be that guy that gets the breakthrough. So it's a fresh start, Jay. It's a fresh start for all of them.
I'm hearing that. Yeah, big up, Bajan. And Bajan, I got your super chat as well. I'll read that in a minute when we get to that certain part we're going to be talking about. But big up, man. I'm with you on the step. I really rate Stefan. I want him to be at Liverpool Football Club for a long time. I think he's got all the talent in the world. He makes some great points. And I'm just remembering Arne Slot's press conference where he says he does like developing youngsters. He was talking about the youngsters the last season breaking through and how well they played, and he wants to carry that on. So, and I don't think that's all talk either. So I've gone back and looked at Arne Slot. He does like bringing youth players through. He does like working on young players. He might see saying, Stefan, look, we might not be after a DM because Slot thinks Stefan's that man. Slot thinks he can be that player with McAllister and whoever around him, and Endo's your squad DM to come in. I mean, he might feel that's enough. Who are we to say? We ain't watching these guys every day. We don't understand what's going on behind the scenes. I know we all want the new toy. We want the fresh players in this and that. We all say, if we had a DM last year, we won the Premier League. I say if our strikers didn't stop scoring, we would have won the Premier League. They all stopped scoring at the same time. It ain't a coincidence. And then we didn't start, and injuries. If we didn't get so many injuries and get burnt out, could have won the Premier League. It's yeah.
I want to see a season, Jay. I just want to see a season, like you said, with injuries. I just want to see just one season, and no key injuries. Like we just have the squad where we could just rotate, play this 11, that 11, that guy's fit, instead of Jota missing, Alisson missing, this guy missing, that guy missing, Curtis out. Like it was Nunes missing, Diaz then missing. Everyone was just missing over a course of the season. I just want to see everyone fit, man, and playing football. Trent was missing in a vital period as well when he was balling out. So
yeah,
that's what I want to see, man. Just one season, man. Just one.
Well, we got rid of the what is it, the leg test shit there, ain't we? So
I noticed that straight away. I was like, no, this is okay.
The players don't kill themselves day one. You know, the players don't die now straight away. So the new thing is that it's 9-minute run where what the test they get from that is then to know how they can push players through the season. What players can be pushed more because they got a bit more in their thing that they can be pushed about injuries, and some players you have to be easier on because they might be more prone to injury if you push them too much and stuff like that. Apparently, that's the new training thing. Apparently, that's what Arne Slot's done at all his clubs under his medical team and his staff that do all that testing and all that. So maybe injuries will be less. Look, our injuries the last 2 years have been absolutely madness. Obviously, we had to play away our kids last season towards the end of the season, and they won us the League Cup, big up the kids because they're great kids. But yeah, we shouldn't be getting them injuries time after time. Same players time after time. It did need speaking about. There's nothing wrong talking about it. It's not saying it's Klopp's fault or anyone else's fault. It's just, you know, it needed changing. It needed changing, and it has been changed. Now Slot has also come out and he destroyed Chris Pajak from Red Men TV straight away. Which now Arne Slot's my best friend.
What's your beef with Chris, man? What did he do?
No, well, Chris spoke about the formation, didn't he? The system, and Slot basically put him down and said, "No, well, that ain't what I play." So he said, more than likely, what I play is a 4-3-3, but it's more fluid. And the thing I liked about it was the defensive side he was talking about, where we have to be more, you know, where Liverpool were more in the years under Klopp, and this is not a dig at Klopp or anything like that. It's the way we played, and that's why it was so exciting to watch, because we was all out attack, like from goalkeeper to the forward.
Yeah.
First thought, we're going to win games of football, and that's what we're going to do. And that's why Liverpool's so exciting to watch, why we scored so many goals. But also, at the same time, that's why we were a bit leaky at the back. And Slot's basically saying we've got to be a bit more constructive defensively. But
everyone must probably
it's more of a 4-3-3, but it's fluid. What did you think of them comments, man?
So here's what I got from it, and I put it on my Twitter as well. So because I was listening in, and when he said it, I'm like, I think everyone got the wrong end of the stick. It was more around the question, as Chris asked the question in terms of like the way you set up, and everyone I've spoken to, it said you'd done a 4-2-3-1, and he was like, well, no, because the reason why he disagreed was because he didn't want you to feel that his team is just in a box where it doesn't change. We don't just set up in what he meant by we don't just set up in a 4-2-3-1. He said sometimes it will look like a 4-2-3-1, sometimes it will look like a 4-3-3, sometimes it will look like a 4-1-4-1. And then he carried on the conversation. It's on my my Twitter that I posted it on. So it wasn't that he didn't say we don't play it. It was just reacting to that is the formation we use. And he's like, no, we use a more fluid formation base. So it's going to look like this, and sometimes it's going to look like this, and sometimes it's going to look like that. There's no set formation. So when everyone was like, no, but see, he doesn't play a 4-2-3, that's not what he actually said. I beg everyone to go and listen back. He just didn't agree that everyone was just like, no, you play a 4-2-3-1. No, bro, we move and we change.
He wanted to let everyone know we play a fluid system.
Yeah, like don't give away some tactical stuff already. Everyone's like, oh, is that what he played?
He's not going to sit here and go, yeah, you're right, Chris. We play 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, everyone's like, interesting. Let's go and set up.
He just wanted to tell everyone we play a fluid formation, and we're going to be a bit more constructive defensively. I mean,
he said everyone must defend, and that's what I love. I don't. So obviously, we won't mention a certain winger in the. Obviously, I know you got other stuff to speak about, but when we say about defending as a whole, it means there's certain players that can't just stand up field. They're going to have to, drop back in and double up and help the right back out from time to time.
That ain't happening.
That's all I'm going to say.
That ain't happening. I reckon he'd be the only ones allowed to.
Manager can't go back on his word, Jay. If he goes back on his word, me and him are going to have issues. He said everyone must defend, so I'm looking at everyone. We get back, we make it difficult for teams to break us down, and then we can win games 1-0.
That's what I said last season. Liverpool couldn't win games 1-0.
No, never, bro. Never.
And we should be able to win games 1-0. Sometimes you can't score 2 or 3. It's just not your day. But what you do, if you're winning 1-0, keep it 1-0.
Exactly.
And that's what Liverpool got to do a bit more of. And that's what wins your league titles as well, not just scoring 3 or 4 every game. Yeah, the inside training stuff. Have you seen the inside training this week?
Oh, wait, I try not to miss it. And by the way, guys, come on, guys.
Looked like they were boxing.
I did see that.
And then I want to see the comments. Wait till Darwin comes back. You'll get a broken nose.
Yeah, I see who Simicas hit Carvalho in the face a couple of times as well by accident.
I don't know what it was.
No, that is. I don't know. I think it's more of a squad building morale thing. I think
a bit of fun. Yeah,
a bit of fun to boost the little morales in the team. Everyone kind of getting to know the players coming back because they haven't seen each other for a minute. I think most of them has all been at different clubs on loan, apart from Carvalho and Morton. There was that whole together, but the rest of them have all been away. So it's trying to get them all back. You know what I mean? Get a good little buzz and a bit of, I don't know, enjoyment around the team, and just implementing your own stuff now.
And it weren't training, was it? It was
no. They were doing a
lot. People watching going, "Our training." It's like, no.
Yeah, no. But big up to what Dad said as well, guys. Man, come on, guys, man. There's enough of you in here. Get the likes up, man. Get the likes up. I'm asking, not Jamie's asking. So get the likes up, guys, please, man. You're loving the video, just press the like button, please.
But yeah, Double A says, love the inside training video. Slot his hands on. Saw him talking to the players about how to receive the ball to replace it. So you invade the opposition player. I'm excited.
Very.
Yeah. How are you feeling about Arne Slot, man? Because the one thing I will say that annoys me so far is that they keep asking Klopp questions. Klopp's left. Klopp's gone. They need to stop and let Arne Slot just be Arne Slot now. You know what I'm saying? Like, the media just didn't leave it out.
That's always going to be the case, though, Jamie, until he plays a game of football. Because what's happening is they don't have a reference point for him because he's the new manager at Liverpool football. They're not going to ask him about stuff at Feyenoord because he's no longer the manager there. But the only thing they have a reference point is Klopp just left. It's technically Klopp's team until Arne Slot puts his own stamp on it and brings in whoever he thinks is going to make the squad a bit better. So they're going to continuously ask them because they're always going to try and do the comparison thing until Arne Slot breaks away from that. Maybe smacking a team in pre-season, maybe like Arsenal. They'll be like, oh my days, do you know, the football's different. And then that's when they'll slightly start moving away from the Klopp style questions. But I think you just have to kind of you're going to see it at least in the first season a bit. Because, especially if he's doing well, they'll compare it. And if he's doing rubbish, they'll compare it as well. They'll be like, well, Klopp would have done this. Klopp's first 10 games, he did this. They're going to do all of those comparisons throughout the season until I think Arne Slot kind of just puts his stamp into the team and then they'll end up just forgetting about Klopp. But it just means Klopp left the lasting legacy, man. He's left and we just still want to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm a bit like, when you said earlier when players leave, that's it, I'm done. I'm a bit like that now. I'm like that with managers as well. Like, the managers are gone. They've left their legacy. New managers here. Let him take over that legacy. Let's move on to the new manager. My worry through the whole season, if Slot loses a game, because Slot will lose a game, because all managers lose football matches.
Football. Yeah.
You know what's going to happen, don't you? Klopp wouldn't have lost it like that. you know what's going to happen because Slot's not very favoured by a lot of Liverpool fans right now because his name's Arne Slot. He's bald and Dutch, so he's not very popular. I think he's starting to winning people over the way he presents himself, the way he talks about. I love the fact he talks about a winning culture. Everything is to win. He's talking about Liverpool are here to win trophies and to win titles and. That's what we're here to achieve. So I like what he's saying. He's saying the right things. He's just got to put his actions in.
He's got to deliver.
And we've got to give him time. I don't expect him to win the quadruple in his first season. Do you know what I mean? He's got to settle the squad down. Yeah, that'd be hilarious. Klopp who? Klopp's
been trying for years to do this, didn't he?
Oh, no, that ends. He did it with Klopp's team.
That's true. He did something Klopp could do with his own team. That would be the headline.
That'd be what he's saying. But look, so I can't wait for the season to start. I can't wait for this Euros to finish because it's been naff. Get this Euros finished. Copper's been crap as well. International football's dead. I just want the club's season to start. I really do. Super chat from my man Bajan. Let's just get this up quick. He's saying De La Cruz would be an ideal six for us. Thoughts? De La Cruz. Who does he play for? You know, Vince?
Nope, I have no clue, Beige.
Beige, if you're still in the chat, man, who does he play for?
Let's go and have a look. If his stats ain't better than Besetic, though, Beige, me ain't gonna have any. A big up to big up to G in the chat as well. I saw him. He said, "Adrian, how you left your space doing the live?" And Hussam as well, man. Hussam, I saw your comment, bro. Listen, it's not. I'm not saying that one is not better than the other, but they have similar stats. So, and they had similar seasons. And no one's going to tell me they watched Calafiori more than they've watched Stefan Vandenberg. You've not watched none of them to know who's done better this season at all.
I know he's on about now the Uruguayan. I know he's on about big up Beijing. Yeah, I know you're on about that. I like that Rios at Colombia as well.
Hey, Colombia's been playing some balls.
That Rios looks good. We're going to get to Joao Gomes stuff in a bit, guys. We're going to get to Joao Gomes stuff in a bit. Big up to Lakers as well. Just messaged me there in the comments. So yeah, Liverpool have turned down a bid for what's his
Phillips.
Yeah, that Phillips, 4 million. I did have it up. There you go. From Trabzonspor. They want 8 million.
Yeah.
Liverpool really don't want to let Nat Phillips go, do they?
And Nat Phillips will forever be at Liverpool Football Club, man. There's never a scenario that this guy leaves. I don't think.
It's just like, no, you're staying.
Yeah, no, just stay, bro. It's all right, man.
Yeah, Nat Phillips, we know he needed to leave 3 years ago. He'll leave. I think eventually they'll get to a deal where they decide it won't be 8 million, it might be 6.5, something like that, with add-ons or something stupid like that, and the deal will be done. And Nat Phillips will leave. Reece Williams will probably leave as well. Does leave a gap in our defence to buy, which I think we will. I do think we will buy a defender. I personally do. I think we'll buy a defender.
You said we had 4, right? So now what's that? Virgil, Gomez,
Kwanzaa,
Konate, 4.
Yeah. That's the 4 centre-backs at the club right now. You'd say Virgil and Konate are the 2 starters, and then Gomez and Kwanzaa are the backups.
But people don't look at Gomez no longer as a centre-back. It's more like... I still look at him as a centre-back.
He's a centre-back. He's a versatile defender, like a bit like Ake at City. He can play centre-back, can play full-back. You're looking for the Dutch team as well. He can play full-back, centre-back.
But I would like a balance. I would like a left-footed player that's in there as well. Just to add a bit more balance to the squad.
Yeah, exactly. If we know Liverpool are after apparently a left back, and Alcantara is the one. Liverpool spoke to his agent this weekend just gone.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Liverpool apparently, so they had a meeting. So I don't know. I like Alcantara. I think he's the best left back in the league personally. So yeah, I'd love him at Liverpool.
Well, that would put us the 3 left backs. Then are we? Who are we selling? Because I've seen people not Robbo now and say he's washed and all that, and then I've seen people that don't like Tsimikas. But that means we have 3. Who do we get rid of?
Tsimikas would go. Tsimikas ain't good enough. I'd never thought Tsimikas was good enough ever.
Is he not good enough, Jay, or has he not been given the opportunity? Because I sit on that side of the fence. I sit on the fence, and I'm going to slightly agree with what you're saying as well. Has he shown on a consistent basis that he's good enough? You'd say probably not, but you haven't really got to see him on a good run. And when I have seen him on a good run, I've not really said, I miss Robbo. So I don't know. For me personally.
Here's the thing with Simi. When Robbo's injured and he isn't coming back, Tsimikas looks class. As soon as Robbo comes back, Tsimikas' game disappears. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that? Like when Robbo's out injured and he knows he's not coming back for a few weeks, Tsimikas looks fantastic. As soon as news is back that Robbo's back and he's like on the bench,
shoulders is healed.
Tsimikas' game disappears. It's like I don't know what that's about. That's a mentality thing for me.
And you know, like, and I know obviously, chat, you guys, some are going to disagree, some are going to agree. But at the same time, as I said, it's not Klopp here anymore. It's Arne Slot. Everyone gets a chance to prove themselves, unless they've said, I want to go, or unless he's gone, I don't think you're good enough anyway, depending on what I want to see. But Tsimikas is back early as well. So he might be one of those players. I'm sorry, guys, but he might be one of those players in contention as well.
Yeah, he might be. He might be. But if I'm going for 2 left backs,
Yeah,
I'd probably go out with Nori and Robbo. I think that's a good combination. I don't think there's many better left back positions, many better 2 left backs in the league there.
And it's good that they're Premier League proven as well, aren't they? So
yeah, exactly. And Robbo, look, he's not the player he once was. He's 30 now. You know, Robbo will probably admit that himself. He's not the Robbo of 27. He just ain't. Injuries have caught up with him. And plus, under Klopp, Robbo played so many minutes and got through so much running.
When he fit, he plays.
Yeah, and he got through so much running as well. I wouldn't be surprised if his legs are gone, to be absolutely fair. But I think a Robbo, legs gone Robbo is still better than Tsimikas for me.
And not only that as well, man, I slightly give Robbo a bit of leeway as well, because I don't think he's been as poor as everyone makes it out. But I also give him a bit of leeway. When we did the adjustment with the system and then expected him to now do this third centre-back role, that took away from what he does. You know what I mean? What he does well, what we know him for. And
that's why it worked better. That's why it worked better with Gomes on that side, because he's a centre back.
Yeah, he just slotted in.
He could go into that position, Trent can invert, and Gomes could slot into that centre back, left centre back role, where you're asking Robbo, who's not a centre back. He's got too much energy to be a centre back.
Imagine that you wound him up and then stand still.
Yeah. I watch Robbo consistently press a ball that's 30 yards away.
It's like, nah, that's not your role now, bro. We've done the inverted thing. You're meant to sit in here.
That used to do my head in last season when he's got to sit there and the ball's 30 yards away and Robbo just goes because that's all he knows.
Yeah, press, win it back.
And that's why Gomez was better on that left-hand side because of the system. And if that's going to change, then Robbo could probably be a better useful left back for me than Tsimikas. That's just my opinion, but other people have their opinions as well. But Alcanori at this moment is better than all of them. So if we got Alcanori in, I'd be perfectly happy.
Young as well, man. Athletic, good cross on him. Gone out. Yeah, and he's very composed and calm as well.
Yeah, it's a good player. G's told you to check your phone. Told you to check your phone. So let's get to the Joao Gomes stuff, because a lot of people talking about that in the chat. So rumours the last 24 hours that Liverpool looking at Joao Gomes from Wolves. I think Liverpool been looking at him for a while. I think last season we were looking at him as well. Look, Liverpool say they're not after a DM, but then Liverpool keep getting linked with DMs. So something, there's no smoke without fire. So it must be some kind of news that if a DM is available, Liverpool will go and purchase it. Joao Gomes, man, how does Joao Gomes, say we've got Joao Gomes come to Liverpool, how would you feel about that?
Do you know it's crazy here? Because I watch Wolves games, but I never maybe it's a good thing I don't really notice him as much. But when we play against them and he plays, I notice him quite a lot. Profile is there, very young, talented footballer, aggressive, can play in the defensive midfield, can play centre midfield. I think he's very aggressive. I think he times his tackles really well. But at the same time, I don't know. I'd say, yeah, add him into the team, but I don't know if he's a needle mover as well. Maybe he is. Maybe he's. I don't know. I just think he's a good player. He's solid. He's very solid in there. For me, Jamie, I'm not too sure. I don't. Yeah. He's one of the other ones as well. I feel like it's underwhelming if he's a signing, but then he could just come in and do amazing stuff. They're not. Look, Edwards and Richard and all the guys above are obviously going to look at the data and choose the right player, I guess, for us, wouldn't they? So if he's the guy that they say, right, he matches what we need and he matches what Arne Slot has set out, then I'll back the player 100%. I'm not saying he's not a good player, but I don't know if he's one of those needle movers for me as well.
Yeah, again, it's the name value of a player, ain't it, over what the player brings to your football club.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And look, a lot of Liverpool fans say just get a destroyer in that DM and we'll be doing things with the midfield players we got. So, and then some people are like, me personally, it's not just a destroyer. We need a player that's good on the ball, that can get the ball through the lines, can pass well, can also join attacks if needed, be on the edge of the box. That sort of like a Rodri. No, you look at Rodri. Rodri don't just sit there. Rodri wins the ball high up the pitch in the final third. He's always on the edge of the box of shots. Joining the attack. He's not just a sit there DM. So, mate, I don't know what Liverpool are looking for in that area of the pitch, but Joao Gomes, as you say, when I watch Wolves play, I never watch him for Joao Gomes particularly. People like Altanori catch my eye a lot more. But sometimes that's a good thing. That player that's not catching your eyes because they're doing their job well usually.
And that's could be the thing, bro. That's probably why he's just doing his job amazing. You're like, I don't even notice that he's doing what he's doing. So his numbers in terms of joule per game, bro, 6.2 joules he wins per game. Ground joules 5.6. Doesn't win a lot of aerial joules, but I guess that's neither here nor there. His passing average, you'd say, it averages out to 83%. So that's good, to be fair. He's not going to go and get you goals, but I guess that's not the reason why he'll be in the team. It's more to stop goals from going in the other end and sniff out chances before they actually arise. So if he comes in with us supporting, bro, 110%.
Oh, yeah.
And he's away at the moment, isn't he? So in the Copa America. So listen, young player, 23. So let's see, man. Could be one to kind of watch.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely, I agree. Got another super chat here from Alex. Big up to Alex.
Big up, Alex, man.
Hot take. Elliot will be our most important player this season. Feel that slots football suits him to a T. Also, if Sepp stays, we won't sign a centre-back 100%. I agree with everything you just said. I love Harvey Elliott. I absolutely adore this kid. I think he has literally got better every season. I think he's got better every season. I do think he's a midfielder. I think he's now been turned into a midfielder. And he knows that role. It's just... when I look, he's more of a cultured footballer, Harvey Elliott. He's technical. Yeah. He's good on the ball. He's got a good first touch. He likes short passing. He likes give and goes. I think Gary Neville said it on commentary in the Liverpool game before the end of the season that Harvey Elliott looks like one of them Spanish players from Valencia or something like that, midfielders that, not always eye-catching, but they do everything really well. Very cultured in that midfield area. And I think we forget he's young as well. He's a young guy. Was he just 21? He started Premier League football at 16, for goodness sake, with Fulham. And his projections have gone up every year. And I think under Arne Slot, the way Arne Slot talks, the way he wants to play, the way if you watch his final teams, I think Harvey Elliott's got a massive season ahead of him. And so how do you feel?
Yeah, look, whenever he came in last season, he did amazing. Whenever he started, sometimes it could be underwhelming. And then people just like, no, maybe he's just more of a substitution type of player where you just bring him on. He could, and he said, I can't remember the interview, but he was like, yeah, he tries to watch the game as much as he can so he can identify weak spots in the team. So when he comes on, he knows exactly what he needs to do to make a difference. And you could see that every time he came on for us. Will he be, in terms of the super chat, big up to Alex, will he be the most? I don't know. But I can't see why not as well. But there's other players in there, I think, they're going to have that, bit between their teeth where they're going to be like, I need to prove myself now. There's no, oh yeah, Klopp has his favourites conversation now, so we can't say that now. It's my time to take that opportunity. Good thing for Harvey, another player, he's back early. So he's getting all the information before everyone else. So if he can adapt, if he can get it and, in the manager's, in the forefront of his mind, that's going to be amazing for him as well, man. And I think with the last bit of what his super chat said about Seth, if he stays, we won't sign anyone. A centre back. I agree with that as well because I can't see him staying and then we decide to still buy a centre back. But yeah, Harvey's a cold player, man. Very, very good player, and he's going to get better and better as he goes on. And what I liked, he got his assists up last season. I think he ended up on like 9 assists. I think it was at the end, and he got a few goals to do with it as well. I felt like he started to take the reins for himself. There's a conversation we had, me, Sav, and Cav, and he just felt like every time he was playing with Mo. He kept giving Mo the ball. It was like, nah, bro, just take it yourself. And a prime example was the Palace game as well when he came on. And then you just see that he was like, no, I'm not giving it to you. I'm going to take the opportunities myself. And he got us the winner in that game. But yeah, no, amazing player, man. I think he'll get better and better as it goes along. And hey, if he gets better, we get better as a club. So it's all good.
Yeah, exactly. I love Harvey. For me, he was better than Szoboszlai last season, and I think he's in front of Szoboszlai in the pecking order. But Szoboszlai has that PR, man. So
hey, listen, he does a couple of little, modeling photos and that, and comes back to training and hit 2 screamers, bro. It might be.
Yeah, like I think Szoboszlai can play further up the field than Harvey can. So, I think they can both play on the same pitch, to be absolutely fair. But yeah, I do like Harvey. I really do. Same with Curtis Jones. I think Curtis Jones started the season tremendously last year, and he had that good partnership. It looked like our best midfield for a while was Curtis, Szoboszlai, McAllister. They seemed to complement each other really well. And then, Endo came into the team, and Endo and McAllister, it looked like they were, whoever played with them. And then towards the end of the season, Curtis, he got a little injury and he never recovered from it. And I don't worry about Curtis because I think he's got a part in the squad. I just feel like, I don't know if it's because I just rate Harvey. I just feel Harvey is going to be a better player than Curtis Jones.
And do you know, I think, I don't know, because obviously we just have time will tell. But I think with Curtis as well, I think he didn't take a step back. I think he took a step back, but then evolved into a different style of player. So maybe he goes back a step to then go in the pathway that I think he should have went in the first place. Because I think we took a lot out of his game and just turned him into this just press machine and running and ball retention guy. Big up to Scraps. And I felt like he had a bit more than that in him. I felt like he had before the end of the season before last, he started showing us what it was about. He was getting on the end of stuff. He was in the box, scoring a couple of goals. He was creating. He looked exciting to watch. And then the start of this season that's just gone, he turned into a different type of play. Just more, I'll keep hold of the ball retention and I'll pass it simple and I'll carry it if I need to carry it here or there. But then he wasn't shooting. And I remember him saying it after, I can't remember the team he scored a goal against when he ran through the midfield and he scored. Maybe you guys in the chat can remind me. And then he said after the game, he said, I need to trust myself a bit more. I felt like he reverted back and I want him to go back to that creative goal scoring type of player. And then maybe then you can see the comparison between him and Harvey. But at the moment, he's just turned him into too much of a, Klopp did, turn him into more of a, and it was good for him because he got to see the other side of the game for himself and seeing that there was more to it than just dribbling with the ball and running with your head down. He started seeing the game in a different way, but I think he needs to go back to that creative spark type of Curtis Jones. So let's see, man. Be interesting.
Do you know what I think with Curtis? Curtis is a bit of a jack of all trades. I believe he can play deeper and play a deeper role. And as you say, he can be creative if he plays further up. And because of that, if you're a manager, you've got to put a midfielder there who can do a bit of everything. So you can use him in a bit of a different way. Some games he might be playing a little deeper and he can play that role then. And I sometimes I don't blame managers for doing it because you've got that luxury of having that kind of player, but it doesn't always benefit the player, does it? In the way they want to go. So just down to Curtis is a better player and people give him credit for it at the end of the day.
It's difficult, isn't it, to kind of get what the player wants and what the system wants. It's always a difficult balance to have because you're going to always have to sacrifice something to get the best out the system that you want to play and get the best out the squad, not yourself. Because it's a team sport. It's not an individual sport. I know sometimes with some players it might look that way, but it's still a team sport. So, like for instance, Curtis had to sacrifice a bit of his game for the betterment of the system that Klopp wanted to play. We had to sacrifice to what Robbo does best to get the best out of Trent because of the system. Vice versa, we had to do certain things to, some players had to lose what they normally do to gain as a squad. But hopefully we can find that right balance, man, and get the best out of everyone when they do play, instead of just using one attribute of their skill set.
Yeah, definitely. So I got the breaking news. Be out Lakers. Former Man City man Aaron Briggs is set to join Liverpool as an elite developmental coach. Apparently, Arsenal are after him as well. Liverpool have nicked him. I don't know what that means.
Elite development. Development is development, but he's just the elite version of
He's
it.
the elite. He's at the top of the table. He's
at the top of the table. He oversees everything after everyone else.
Look, we seem to be making a lot of good appointments this pre-season. So if this is another great appointment that helps the club develop, helps develop players to be better and better and better, I'm all for it, man. Bring them all in. Bring them all in. Anything that makes this football club better and works, I'm all for it. I just love the wording in today's football. You know what I mean? Everyone's either elite or everyone's got a title.
When you're at the academy scene as well, Jay, everything's elite mentality, elite, everything's elite, bro. That's like
and then we start using it because we hear it so much. You know what I mean? Elite. We start using it because we hear it so much.
That kid, he's elite. Yeah.
Generational's my favorite. Generational's my favorite.
Elite.
Because it depends what generation you grew up in as well. But generational's that's
generational.
That's my favourite one at this moment in time. I just want to talk about a couple of Liverpool players and go talk about Thiago. Cody Gakpo having a heck of a tournament for the Dutch, playing left wing. Like a lot of us Liverpool fans will be wanting to see him play at Liverpool instead of playing centre midfield, centre forward, right wing. He played a handful of games in his actual position at Liverpool. The funny thing is, when he does play left wing for Liverpool, he actually looks really good. Yeah, you're damn right, Bajan. You are damn right. You're damn right. Big up Ozzy in the chat as well. Gakpo, like we've got this Luis Diaz, Cody Gakpo war on social media at the moment for some reason.
That needs to be a stream. I didn't even know that was a war at the moment. I just know that.
Yeah, people keep going.
I know they want to sell one of them. I know that much.
Diaz is this, Gakpo's this, Diaz is this. Look, everyone knows my views on Luis Diaz. I think he's an exceptional talent that I don't see enough of in a red shirt. And I think Cody Gakpo has got more about him in front of goal than Luis Diaz has. But he hasn't got the same talent as Luis Diaz. That's my quick summary of both players. But Liverpool actually lucky to actually have two very talented left wingers.
And that's why I keep saying, man, even though you want to sell these guys and get rid of them at times, there's not much out there in the world of football to try and get that's going to be able to come into the Premier League and hit the ground running straight off the bat. I didn't even know that there was a war between them. I just know that some want to sell Diaz, and I know some are really enjoying what Gakpo is doing at the moment. Do you remember when I said it to you and a few of the other guys about people losing their identity when you play them in multiple positions? And I felt like when Cody came in, we should have just utilized him more as the left winger because that's the position he really likes to play. And there shouldn't have been no reason because we do play with a left winger. I think with Cody, he's more efficient in terms of what he does. So if he's going to cut back inside, it's going to be a shot or it's going to be a cross. With Luis Diaz, he's the maverick. So you don't really know what he might end up doing. It depends on the moment, scenario, how he feels. It might be a cold skill and then he beats 3 or 4 players and get a shot when he might end up in the top corner. Or it might be a cold skill and then he passes it to not. Do you know what I mean? But with Cody Gakpo, he's going to stand up across at the back stick and he's going to get mad at himself if he doesn't hit no one. Or he's going to drive at you and then cut in and then hit a shot. And, more times out or not.
He's more direct.
Yeah, he's more direct, more efficient. And that's not to knock with Diaz because I think he's efficient to a point. But it's about trying to get the right formula together in terms of what players work best. Like Harvey and Cody in the front three works good in some games because they're very efficient. You know what Harvey's going to do. Checks inside, cross, reverse pass into whoever is doing the over. You just know what he's going to do. But with the other players, Mo, sometimes he's so unpredictable. So him and Diaz. So imagine we had 3 unpredictable players up front. You had Salah, that was unpredictable. You had Nunes, unpredictable. And then you had Diaz. Like, the confusion and chaos between all 3 of them is just madness.
It's just a bit mad, ain't it?
But when you had a bit more composed, measured players like your Harveys, your Gakpos, and your Jotas, you know that there's a lot more. There's measures what they're gonna do. I would probably choose Cody to play at left wing for next season, and I don't want this. I don't want this midfield false 9 bullshit anymore, man. I just need him to play left.
He's playing his position.
Yeah, and if you're gonna keep Diaz for an example, because I still want to keep him, and I know many don't, which is fine. It just has to be them two rotating. Who gets it? Who's at their best plays in that position? Who's getting the best out of themselves for the team? That's their position. And there's no confusion then. You know, if you're not doing well, Cody's gonna play. Cody, if you're not doing well, Diaz is gonna play. Unless you're gonna go and find someone out there right now that you can tell me that's going to come into the Premier League and get great numbers or fit into this team straight away.
Yeah, it's true. I've been thinking about this the last few days, and I've come to the conclusion. I'm not Diaz's biggest fan, but I've come to the conclusion now that with the two left wingers Liverpool got in Gakpo and Diaz, that is arguably the best two. How many teams in the Premier League have got two left wingers like Diaz and Gakpo? Probably none.
Man City, probably.
Man City, Arsenal, Trossard and Martinelli, maybe. But
even that, Martinelli plays all over the shop, don't he? He plays through the middle sometimes. So
you could say Trossard and Gakpo more similar to and Martinelli and Diaz are more similar. You know what I'm saying? The way they play. So I've been thinking about it because everyone knows my views on Lewis, but Anthony Gordon, who I do rate, Liverpool got him. I wouldn't be upset about it. But the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm happy if them two stay, to be fair, and they rotate and battle it out. Like, you could have Diaz against low blocks and
Cody was facing behind.
Yeah, look, but if I'm a striker, so if I'm Darwin Nunes, I would rather play with Gakpo than Luis Diaz. Because I know what I'm going to get every game with Cody. I know I will learn, 2 or 3 games in, I will know what part of the space, where in the box I need to pick up, because I know that's what Cody's going to look for. With Diaz, if you're a striker, it must pull away. He's one of them wingers that strikers must pull their hair out with sometimes, because he's got a tendency to hold the ball too long, or he holds the ball not long enough and delivers it too early, and you're not in position. So it's irritating. But as you said, he's a maverick. That's what he is, you know. But with Cody, if I'm a striker, if I'm Darwin Nunes, I'd rather play with Cody Gakpo.
Same.
And I think we saw that with Jota as well. When Jota and Cody played, they had quite good chemistry with each other, didn't they?
From pre-season, I noticed it, and then we never utilized it enough.
No.
I noticed it in pre-season. I was like, they're linking up. You could just see, he knows, right, give it to him, he'll hold it, flick it round the corner, he'll make the run onto that, and then we'll get a shot away. And then for some reason, Klopp was like, no, I hear what you're saying, but yeah, we're not doing that.
So Cody, look, keep both of them. That is a good left wing. That is a good left-hand side. Let's be fair here. That is a good left-hand side. There's goals in there. There's creativity in there. You got one who's direct. You got a maverick who could take players on. He's technically gifted. You got a lot of differences. Like if one starts and one comes on as a sub, the defender's got a different situation with that left wing coming on. They're totally different players. So keep both of them. Fuck it. Let's talk about our striker. Now everyone knows I'm not Darwin's biggest fan, but I'm going to say this. Shoot me down. Darwin Nunes is the most informed striker in the world at the moment. And I think the internationals is proving it, isn't it?
Listen, I see. Big up to Honesty. I don't know if you're in the chat, bro, but I told you I'm doing a space at the moment.
I'm just going to what's happening right now. I'm going at what's happened after the season's finished.
Yeah.
International wise, I'm looking at all the strikers in the Euros and at the Copper and stuff like that. And Darwin's probably more informed, better than most strikers around at the moment. Internationally,
yeah, he's more informed.
I'm not his biggest fan, but I can't sit here and pretend that he's not informed. You know, I'm looking at Harry Kane. I'd rather have Darwin Nunes over Harry Kane right now, internationally. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not.
I put down a thumbnail. Harry Kane is Darwin Nunes better than Harry Kane.
It's that form. It's the form. I'm not going who's a better player, but form-wise, Darwin Nunes right now, internationally, since the season finished, how many better strikers on form is there than Darwin Nunes in national football right now?
Not many. But here's the thing, though, with and big up to Honesty, for a stat in the space I'm currently doing as well. He was like for Uruguay, his conversion rate is 23 or 26%, but for Liverpool it's 11%.
Yeah.
So there's a clear that's double the amount. So clearly, Bielsa knows what he's doing with Darwin, and for some reason we didn't know what to do. And I'm not trying to blame them because obviously he's missed some gilt-edged chances, and he can be way better than what he's been doing. There's no excuses there.
I've seen Mbappe miss gilt-edged chances in Euros.
It's just because he's our player, isn't he? So if he misses them, it means more to us than anyone else. There's strikers out there, they miss a ton of chances, but we don't watch every game, every striker, every minute. But with Darwin, man, listen, to be not that good, but to get the output he got, and you clearly thinking, right, if he would have just been 10, 15% better, whatever that number could have been, that numbers could have been ridiculous. The problem is we want him to be as clinical as what the other killer that we have in the league called Haaland. He's not going to be that clinical as him. Can he get the numbers split across goals and assists? Yeah, but he's not going to get solely just. I don't see him getting like 40 goals in a season on just goals. I can see that combined with some assists because that's the type of player. I think he facilitates, but he's also a striker. Haaland's just now I'm going to score goals, and that's what I do. I don't care about passing it to no one. Just give me the ball, let me tap it in the net. But I don't know, man. We have to find a way to get the best out of him. Slot said, yeah, I've spoken to him. He's a player that I want to work with. So guys that don't like him, hey, don't worry. Enjoy the next season because he's going to be your striker next season.
Oh, yeah,
the new gaffer said he wants him. So,
and guys, in the chat, I'm talking form. I'm not talking physically.
Now, someone flipped it. Jamie said Nunes is better than Harry Kane.
Right now on form, he is. Right now in form-wise, is. Tell you what, if Darwin played for England with his running behind, it would help us out more than what Kane's doing.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I mean, is that a lie? Is that a lie?
No, it would be better still.
You know, yeah. Look, he's in form at the moment. We can't sit here, no matter if you're the biggest hater of Darwin Nunes in the world, he is on form at the moment. And yeah, he misses chances. And Mbappe misses shitloads of chances. Everyone thinks he's the best player in the world. So, yeah, he misses chances and can look clumsy in that. But on form-wise, I don't think there's many better strikers in the last 6 weeks internationally than Darwin Nunes. So, yeah.
I want to, do you know what? I just need to go and I want to see that. Nah, Darwin gets a lot of stick, bro. But some of it is just deserved, though. I can't even lie. Yeah, but I've still got my stocks in it, man. He's my guy.
I want Darwin to bring this form to Liverpool in pre-season. So the form is with Uruguay at the moment. I want that form to continue in club football. That's what I want. If he can continue that in club football, I'll be more than happy. More than happy. And yeah, get his goals and he can shut us all up. I think that's all we all want.
Just score goals, isn't it? No, but I asked this question, Jamie, and I'll ask you and I'll ask everyone in the chat as well. Do you want Darwin to be that striker that gets, I don't know, 30 goals a season but win nothing? Or would you take him scoring 10 important goals and we win something with that? So, because the problem at the moment is everyone's like, he needs to score. But he can score a ton of goals and he equates to winning nothing. We saw that with Harry Kane for years. 30 plus in the Premier League, no trophies to show for it. So it's not just, and I get it because we like to look at it and we can compare our striker to that striker's. Oh, my striker scored this, your striker. I get that. The conversation is there. But do you want your striker to score 30 goals but equates to nothing, or 10 goals but win trophies? Because those 10 goals equate to winning important games. What would you rather?
I get what you're saying. I do think if Darwin got 20 Premier League goals last season, we win the Premier League.
But so if Mo got 5 more, we would have won the Premier League. It works out if this guy scored 3 more, that guy scored 1 more, that it equates to another win.
I know what you're saying.
It wasn't just down to him missing chances. It was down to a collective of people.
I do get what you're saying, but with Mo, For me, Darwin should be outscoring Mo Salah because he's a striker.
That's it. Just Harry Kane. Yeah. I'll just use Harry Kane. Then. Do you want Darwin to be Harry Kane, scoring all these amazing goals, 30 goals a season, but equates to winning no trophies? Or do you want him to be, I don't know, who scored like some random amount of goals, bro, like a 10 or 12 goal, but they've won a couple of trophies?
The thing is, though, I think Darwin can score 20 goals.
He only needs 9 more.
I do think he can do it. He has got the ability.
He had the chances.
There's something about him that I like, so I can't hate on him too much. I've always said Liverpool look better when he plays because of his pace and running in behind. I think like look, everyone said about Harry Kane. If Harry Kane played for Liverpool, Liverpool win everything.
Oh, Bobby, big up to everyone in there. Firmino. Yeah, would you want him to do the Firmino role where, he'll just add a little 10 goals, but you're picking up a Champions League? No, I'm not saying exactly. His output, not the player himself, not comparing him, just the output. Bobby never was one to score a massive amount of goals, but Bobby was the one that you probably get 10 goals, maybe like 10 assists. And you're like, okay, 20 GA, but it equates to a Premier League or a Champions League. Or do you want him to get Harry Kane's numbers and do nothing? Because it sounds like people want him to hit Harry Kane number and also we win Premier Leagues and whatever. Which is fair. That's a fair ask.
If he does Harry Kane numbers, we do win the Premier League. That's the thing. I always give Darwin the benefit of the doubt because I do think Liverpool look better when he does play. And I said this even last season, even hating on him, that we do look better when he plays because he stretches the opposition. He runs in behind. He does create his own chances. He just misses a lot of them, and it rubs people the wrong way. And I understand it from that point of view. But it's not that I trust him. I don't trust him just yet, but I want him to bring that form that he's got for Uruguay Liverpool, because I do feel like if he scores 20 or 30 Premier League goals, Liverpool win shit. Simple as that. He could be that player. We can't keep relying on Mo to score goals for Liverpool Football Club. He's 32 now. You can't rely on that man to keep scoring goals for Liverpool Football Club. Darwin's got it in his locker. He gets plenty of chances. If he can just take 10% more chances than he did last season, the man's getting 20 odd goals in the Premier League.
Do you know, like,
then you're looking at a quality striker, aren't you?
All right, look at this, right, Jay. And this is sometimes where numbers are crazy, and I never like to do this, but I want to see what everyone thinks about that, right? So he scored 11 goals in the Prem, got 8 assists. And then he had 11 big chances created as well. So if they took all of those, they would have put him on 19 assists in the Premier League. Because when everyone says we've created whatever, he's missed 40 odd big chances, you're like, well, if he scored them, whatever. Well, what if people scored the 11 big chances that he created? Then he would have had 19 assists in the Prem and 11 goals.
Yeah.
The outlook, this is what I'm saying, that then people would have looked at him differently. I would hope so anyway.
But then I suppose other people would say if Darwin put the chances away Salah gave him, Salah would have had about 30 assists.
But that's the point I'm trying to make. I think it's just always it's skewed based on whatever the numbers are. So because the numbers don't hit a certain level that you probably set, you always think he's had a bad season. But did he have an amazing season? Of course not. Could he have been better? Obviously. But
I don't think that's all down to him, by the way.
Yeah, he did his point. He did his job down to a point, bro. He scored a lot of goals and got a lot of assists.
I will say, I do think Klopp tried to make him think he ain't. I don't want Darwin to link play. I don't care about him linking play. No. I just want him to get in the box and take chances.
Like the first season. Do you know, I preferred his first season than last season. Because the first...
Thank you. I said that as well.
Do you know what? Because he was all types of goals he was scoring. He was running in behind, getting goals. He was scoring headers. Like this season, I'm just like, all of the goals were just like, I don't know, but there was nothing to them really, man. He's good in the air, and I don't know why we don't cross the ball enough for him.
Well, it's because Diaz played left wing. He doesn't cross the ball. I mean, it's true, though, isn't it?
He doesn't want to do Travella outside of the foot.
He doesn't cross the ball. If Cody crosses the ball. So if you're playing him a left wing, and because we inverted Trent weren't crossing the ball no more.
Yeah, that's true.
So go Trent up and down as a right back like he used to do. Get Cody at left wing. You got people crossing the ball. Darwin is good in the air. He does score headers. I said this last season. I think Darwin was better in his first season than last season as well.
I preferred it because I just liked the goals he was scoring.
Yeah, because he didn't know. He didn't want to link the.
Nah, he was like, nah, I'm shying away from that. Nah, I'm staying in the box.
Yeah, I just don't want him to link up. I don't care about link up.
That's because everyone kept getting onto him, man. He couldn't pass, and then this season it was all linking play. And
I don't care about link up play. Why are strikers got a link play now? Ain't strikers meant to get on the end of everything, not link it?
Because remember, we shifted to the deep line playmaker style strikers, didn't we? The false nines. So they needed to pass. The centre forwards.
Haaland barely links play at City.
he just give it to him, he sets it back and then goes.
All he does, it's literally the only thing he does. He chests the ball down and just gives it to someone and then just runs off.
And then moves off.
Yeah, he's not linking play. That's what I need. We don't need him to link play. Just play McAllister and Szoboszlai further forward.
Yeah, they can link in and give him the ball in the box.
And then just put the ball out wide to Cody and Mo and get Trent going down the wings. If you get out with Nori and get him going down the wings, overlapping our wingers. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Fullbacks overlapping wingers again. I'd love to see that again. That'd be beautiful. Well, when was the last time our fullbacks did that? Get them overlapping our wingers again. Free up space in wide areas for midfielders to take advantage of the gaps that are given. Get Darwin in the box. He can get goals. Look. I think what you're saying about Arnold, so I think Darwin is going to be Liverpool's number one striker next season. I think Slopp's going to work on him. I think Jota is a better finisher than Jota's a better finisher. I think Jota's a better finisher in the club. But the problem with Jota is, look, Jota's stats are mad. If you go by minutes per goal, he's actually the best in the Premier League. His stats are absolutely nuts. But the problem with Jota, he's going to have a 3-month injury next season. It's going to happen, and you can't rely on him.
And that's why I hope, Jane. That's what I said earlier in the stream, man. I just want a season where we just have our squad, and I know it's something that I'm asking for that would never happen because there's always going to be injuries. But I just want just one season, bro, where when we need a Jota off the bench, he's there. When we need a goal from or a free kick from something that type of player is on the bench waiting to go. Instead of going, Jota would have scored that, or Gakpo would have, he'd have probably put that in the back of the net there, or if we had this guy playing, we could have stopped that counter attack. Do you know what I mean? It just feels like we're always missing key members, and I'm watching all the other damn teams. I'm like, of course they get injuries, but they're never really missing like key players for a crucial part of the season. We saw Arsenal miss Saliba for a couple of months, and it was like, that's the reason we lost the league. It's like, so none of the other players are good enough then. Couldn't have just carried on playing. So I just want that, man. And I know it's difficult to ask for, man, but let's not pray for no injuries next season, guys, man. Hopefully Arne Slot and his coaching staff have figured out the method to keep everyone fit.
Yeah, exactly. I look at a team and I'm thinking the subs bench. You could have a subs bench of like a Diaz, Jota, a Harvey Elliott, a Robbo, Gravenberches, these kind of players coming off the bench to make impacts. The squad ain't as bad as everyone thinks it is. Mm-hmm. It really ain't. It's just because it's been used and abused the last 2 years, and it's falling to bits with injuries and stuff like that. But this squad, when it's fresh, and you look at the bench, there was a part last season when we had almost a fully fit team, and I saw.
Remember, people missed out.
Yeah, and people missed out, and that bench was stacked.
Yeah,
and people online were going, that is one of the best benches, if not the best bench in the Premier League. So, and then the next minute, people will tell you, then a couple of games later, go, the squad's shit.
Start getting it. When the injuries start depleting it, that's when they're like, raw. And we had the academy ballers just on the bench. You're like, whoa, what happened to everyone else? Simic. Remember, Simicas got injured, so we had no left backs. Gomes had to play there. Trent then got injured, so only Bradley was fit, and then there was no backup for him. Sobo got injured with a hamstring for a month and a bit. Jota was out for the prolonged injury of the knee. We know how long Alisson missed the season as well. And then the rest of the guys, Mo Salah missed a couple of months through the hamstring injury.
Yeah, exactly.
And the list goes on, bro.
It fell apart. Look, talking about injuries, let's do it. Let's quickly do this. Thiago. Now, Thiago has retired from football entirely. Should have done it 2 years ago. But yeah, he's retired from football indefinitely. I put out that he's been a flop for Liverpool Football Club. I put this as a question mark, by the way, on the title, guys. It's a question up for debate. Is he a flop for Liverpool Football Club? I seen people on Twitter talking about Thiago yesterday. Like, we have prime Thiago, we have Bayern Munich Thiago, and people talking about him going up there with Stevies and that, and I'm like, what the F am I listening to? It's just absolutely crazy. The PR on Thiago for me is mad. I think he's a fantastic player. This is not about him not being a great player, he's a tremendous talent. He was never world class at Liverpool. I need to put that out there. He's world class at Bayern Munich. He wasn't at Liverpool. He was a tremendous talent, tremendously gifted, but he's not up there with some of the best midfielders that have played for Liverpool because he didn't play for long enough. He just didn't. I see people going, "Oh, it's Gerrard, Alonso, Torre." What? No. This might break the internet. I'd have Jordan Henderson over Thiago.
I don't think that's a bad shout based on game time. Obviously, one led us to Premier League and Champions League. So
yeah, Jordan Henderson won everything at Liverpool. And Thiago, when he played, he looked good. I know people brought out stats. When Thiago played, we won 81% of our games. Get out the stats for Jordan when he played?
Might be less. There might be a lot more games in it.
I don't know. I bet it's probably 81% with the same, like far more games.
Far more games.
He did win every trophy known to man. So, like, I don't.
To your question, Jay. Was he a flop for us? For me, no, because I think a flop is someone that plays and then just the quality just been dreadful shit. There's no point of you even playing. He never got the opportunity to play. And he's not going out here trying to injure himself. It's not like he's out here just going, do you know what? I'm just going to run into this wall, or I'm going to just do some random things to get myself injured so I can't play for the football club. I think when he played really well for us. And obviously, as you said, 81% win ratio with him playing. Cold. Very good. I love the way the guy plays. I wish he was more fit, so then we could have seen more from him. But to say he's a flop, and I know it's a question, Jay, so it is what it is. No, he didn't play. He didn't play as much. As I said, if he played and he was dog shit, and like the performances were below par, and you're like, this is the Thiago we signed. That's what you call a flop. Someone that's not played because of injury, you can't then call him a flop. You would say the time here has been underwhelming because you haven't seen the best of him, but that's not a flop to me.
And that's why I put the question mark there. So that's the debate, you see. Ends gets it, you see.
It's a debate. No one sees the question marks, bro. I know you put two of them there as well, but
make the point.
No, it's the question, guys. The question, not saying it.
Big up Adrian the Super says, if you don't have any injury issues like the past few seasons, we know the previous management staff, medical team staff was the problem. Yeah, look, I've always said it as well. When Thiago come out and said that Jurgen Klopp taught him how to run, is a madness to me because Thiago shouldn't be running.
What are you saying? We retired Thiago? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Like Thiago has never run in his career. That's not his game. It's like going like Pilo coming to Liverpool and going, right, you're box to box now. Yeah,
it's
it's not his game. And I think with Thiago, we saw a wonderful talent that was available on the market for 20 odd million, and we took advantage of that because I don't blame the football club for doing that. Every football club would. But the problem is he didn't quite suit the way we wanted to play. And yes, he had a good win percentage when he played, but so did a lot of players in our team. So these win percentage things, when they go and play, this player had a win percentage, this player had a win percentage. Under Jurgen Klopp, everyone had really good win percentages.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
you know, is he a flop? For me, yeah. Some people he isn't. Some people he is. I just think for the talent the man is, we didn't see enough of him. Would
you say you're more disappointed though, James? Would you say you're more disappointed than he's a flop?
That's
because
why I call him a flop, because I'm disappointed.
Okay,
that's why I'm saying it. It's like he's super talented, man. He's a tremendous midfielder, but we didn't. I think injuries as well. A player has to look at himself as well. I do think a player has to look at himself with injuries. I don't think it's all down to other people why he gets injured a lot. Yeah, the foul on him against Everton, what Richarlison did to him,
crazy.
That's nothing to do with Thiago. But after that, should Thiago sorted out his hip sooner and got the operation sooner, and maybe still playing now? I'm not sure. I do look at players sometimes. I feel like, you know, you look at the best players in the world. Injuries rarely happen.
Do you know what it is though, Jay? If he was if he was an athlete where he abused his body, and look, Jack Grealish, cold player at times, but he's a guy that when he gets on, he's on it. So at times he's abusing himself in certain ways. Thiago isn't that type of player. So with injuries, I'm not gonna knock him for not being fit and available if he's doing everything possible, because I know he's that type of professional. He wants to be back. He wants to be the best version of himself to help his team. But if he was like injured and then we kept seeing videos or photos of him, he's just out drinking or partying, you'd be like, hold on a minute, bro, what are we doing here?
I'd want him out.
No, I mean, what are we doing here, bro? Like, that's when I would have an issue. But I could see that he was working hard and trying to get back. And then sometimes, as some athletes, man, it's just not for you, bro. After a while, you just have to, do you know what? And he probably thought, if I play another year, man, I might not have a leg to stand on, so I might as well just retire now and just enjoy what time I have left, man, with the family and stuff. So, for me, he's not a flop, man, but I get it. I get why people would say it.
Yeah, exactly. He's such a talent. And look, did we use him properly? I don't think we used him correctly. Played one game. What is it? One game in 13 months. It's just not. Yeah, I'm not sure. I personally think he's a flop. If someone says he's not, I'm not going to disagree with them or anything. I can understand it. I just wanted more from him because he's such a talent. But it's the way people are going more about him as a player and putting him up with players that we got, and I'm like, are we doing that? Is
Gerrard is crazy. Like.
And even Xabi Alonso, apart from when Frank Lampard broke his ankle, he was always available. I don't even think he's up there with Xabi Alonso. He's not up there with Suarez. He's not up there with Stevie. When I'm talking about Jordan Henderson, I shouldn't be putting Jordan Henderson in front of Thiago, but I am, because Jordan Henderson won everything, and he was a big part. People dismiss Henderson's part in the league title wins and stuff like that. They dismiss it, and it's mad because he was vital to these Premier League and Champions League wins on the team that we were. Not just his ability, it was his his mental side. He's being a leader on the pitch, being that captain on the pitch. So that's the thing for me. I look at it like that, and I just couldn't. If I'm picking a Jurgen Klopp best midfielder that's been at Liverpool, I'm not putting Thiago in it.
No, he didn't have enough game time. But
no.
As a player, of course, he's class player. But we just didn't get to see enough of him. But listen, with the injuries, as I said, man, it wasn't like he wasn't trying to get himself back fit. If he was abusing himself and not doing that, then I would have an issue with it. It just didn't work out. Didn't get to see the best version of him. But when he did play, we saw what type of baller he was, man. Because there was things he was doing, and he was just like, the other players are like in awe of what he was doing, and you hear the way
Oh,
the
yeah.
other players spoke about him. It's just
Technical
that he
ability.
couldn't do it consistently because of all the injuries he kept picking up.
And that's the issue. You know, you got that technical ability, and you just didn't see enough of it, and that's the problem for me. But yeah, technical wise, you can't knock him. There's no doubt about that. But he's got to be a coach now. I'd love him to come back to Liverpool, be a coach with his knowledge and insight on football. I think it'll be perfect. So it's not me knocking him as a player. I've said it. He's a fantastic footballer. But for Liverpool, we can't sit here like. But if Bayern Munich fans want to say Thiago is one of the best they've seen, I can understand it. For Liverpool, nah, not in the Klopp era.
Hey, Jay, I'm just going to drop out and drop back in off my camera.
Well, I'm about to end it anyway. There,
okay, cool.
I'm about to end it there anyway. So, guys, thank you very much for joining us. It's been a great Liverpool conversation. I'm going to try and do more of these, maybe morning, afternoon shows as we go as well. So just Liverpool chit chat. Guys, thank you very much for joining me and Enz today. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you go and subscribe to Enz's channel. Go and show him some love over there. Guys, when this video finishes, you got to go over to Judge Mo's channel, okay? You got to be taking over there because I'm about to go on there as well. So make sure you join me over on Judge Mo's channel right now. Appreciate it, love, guys. Enz, thank you very much, my man. You got anything coming up?
Nah, man, guys, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do, man, and just turn on the notification bell, man. I'm sporadic at the moment, a bit busier than normal, so yeah, whenever I get a chance, I'll do my videos. But obviously, the upcoming season and pre-season's upon us now, so there'll be plenty more videos that I'll be dishing out.
There you go, guys. Make sure you go. And make sure you go and subscribe and put your notification on so you know when Enz goes live, guys. So big up, everyone. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Peace.